shade under 93 degrees in downtown Sagersville earlier today. Another warm one, and in fact, we're calling for pretty much the 90s for the next several days. And the ones that aren't are going to be so close, I don't know that it's going to make a whole lot of difference. Pretty much same old song and dance, shower, and some storm chances. The likes of which right now, if you're catching the early show on this Thursday evening, are not bearing down on the viewing area, but we'll look at local Doppler radar and details in just a few moments. A desk full of updates and other headlines, and I hope you are doing well this evening. Also hope you have today's edition of the Sagersville Independent by now, another big edition. And on that note, we are, as I've spoke about here quite openly, still working, trying to figure out exactly, and we think we've learned there probably is more than one issue in regards to a lot of our readers not getting their papers weekly and on time. Now, a large portion of that is still believed to be, or at least, a large portion believed to be related to the United States Postal Service and not on a local level. But the papers that go especially out of the county leave here, and where they're going and where they're sitting, and then not making or being late in making their final destination is still something we're trying to sort through and see if there's another option. And we're doing some pleading, and I don't know if it's going to work. Now, as far as the local post office, we have zero complaints there. But we have also learned that there is another issue related to the labeling that we discovered this morning at around 4 o'clock when I came in to make sure that everyone was getting their paper. And we're going to go through that list firsthand, as it's an automated system through the press, for the next few weeks. So please bear with us, and please, if now or forever you don't get your paper when you're supposed to, give us a call and let us know. We're keeping track and record of that, and we're going to start trying to come up with some improved ways, if there are any, and just making sure that everyone gets a paper that wants one. And we cannot thank you enough. As I sat and went through every name that gets a subscription, it was very humbling this morning to do so and see who all gets our paper and where they're from and the like, and be reminded. So thank you for being a part of that local support and help us keep the Sagersville Independent and the Big Sandy News going. We could not do it without you, and hope that you enjoy it. We believe we put out a better product as far as local newspapers are concerned than anyone else, and we definitely need your help and support now more than ever. Okay, with that said, covered your forecast update. We will have a couple of things before we go any further as far as updates are concerned. One on Mitch McConnell. Before we turn to Governor Beshear, not related as far as those two reports are concerned, but Mitch McConnell issued a statement today saying he is out of rehabilitation and is recovering and working from home. While this new announcement was not accompanied by a new photograph, this being the most recent that we had of Senator McConnell while he was in rehabilitation, saying today that he was discharged and allowed to go home and is continuing to recover under strict guidelines from his doctors, following all recommendations as he receives treatment, saying that, quote, Elaine and I are grateful for the many well wishes and support from friends, colleagues, and Kentuckians, and for the attentive care I've received from excellent doctors, nurses, therapists, and hospital staff, adding that on the advice of his doctors, he'll maintain an intensive regimen of physical therapy from home during the state work period, and that he will continue to engage with his staff and colleagues on important Senate business. Now, from Governor Andy Beshear, on another note, not related to the health and recovery of Mitch McConnell, he issued a statement earlier today saying that in response to the surging demand of data centers and the energy and resources that they consume across our country, he is announcing an executive order for the Commonwealth.
In response to the surging demand for data centers and energy resources across our country, I'm announcing an executive order that I'm signing to protect against any harmful impacts from potential data centers. This establishes the framework to ensure that data center companies looking to do business in Kentucky, which will ultimately be a very local decision on whether to welcome them, but that any company looking at Kentucky, at minimum, is required to demonstrate they will be good neighbors. They must invest responsibly, operate transparently, and work in partnership with our people and our communities. They will be held to the same high standards we demand of any potential partner, and they must prove that their investment will deliver lasting benefits to Kentucky's working families.
In local news, for at least the third time in the past several months, Kentucky's Attorney General has declared that the city of Sayersville has violated the Open Records Act. I'll have that and more news, all starting after a few words.
In everything from the medical field to engineering, telemedia, welding, agriculture, and even aviation. And that's just to name a few of the 32 different choices. Work has also been started on a brand new state-of-the-art high school. So now is the time for your child to experience the power of opportunities in Johnson County School.
There are several risk factors that may put a patient at risk for heart disease.
Especially people who have diabetes or hypertension or high cholesterol and have a family history of heart disease.
Neglecting to see a cardiologist can put you in trouble. You may develop problems that may not be reversible.
We see many people who do not have an actual diagnosis of a heart problem, but may be at risk of heart disease, and we do whatever we can to help mitigate that risk to help prevent disease in the future. ARH, more for Appalachia.
These are actual recent images of local heating and cooling systems, residential and commercial, an example of 75% of all the calls that Ultimate Air responds to. Little or no maintenance, or sometimes someone else being paid to maintain a system. Prevent 75% of your breakdowns with preventative and actual maintenance by Ultimate Air. Locally owned, locally trusted.
I wonder, could this be our last trip together? What if I upset him? He might never call again. But what if I don't say anything?
Hey, Dad. Is something wrong?
Actually, are you okay?
If someone you know or love is struggling, contact Big Sandy Healthcare today.
Ranked in the very top 10% of the top 150 Kentucky workers' compensation attorneys for Social Security, disability, SSI, personal injury, or workers' compensation, if your working days are over, meet Grover. 888-9-GROVER or locally 349-2065. A couple of updates on a couple of cases that we have been following. One related to the former Floyd County school bus driver who, as I told you just days ago, was one of 3 indicted on federal charges related to either enticing or having or attempting to have some sort of sexual contact with minors. All having hearings scheduled at that time to see if they would remain in jail. The former school bus driver, it appears as though after standing before U.S. Magistrate Judge Hanley Ingram, will do just that. 40-year-old Andrew D. Lewis was one of the 3 charged that day federally. A former Floyd County school bus driver who's accused of messaging a student on his bus, trying to entice the minor to engage in sexual activity. And the investigation by authorities also has led them to believe that he has done the same with others, as well as making sexual advances to students on his bus on at least one, if not more, occasions. The judge taking that into consideration, as well as the fact that he would have access to electronic devices that he could try to contact juveniles or minors again in his household, between that belonging to his children and his spouse. The investigation reportedly began with Floyd County officials when he was accused of inappropriate touching on the school bus. That led to federal charges, and now him being held without release at this time. And in a somewhat related story, a former substitute teacher out of Pike County, now 28 years of age, has been sentenced. 28-year-old Hunter Plymell of Kemper entered a guilty plea, an open guilty plea as it's technically described, to rape in the 3rd degree. An open plea defined as one in which there was no plea agreement in place with prosecutors, with Pike Circuit Judge Eddie Coleman denying a request to serve 1 year on behalf of his lawyers, sentencing him to 2 years to serve. He was lodged in the Pike County Detention Center following a hearing on yesterday. This after saying that he was employed in the position of a substitute teacher in many Pike County schools over a number of years, with the incident in question taking place at Belfry Elementary, when a 15-year-old student reported to authorities that he had raped her on a county road. Still some Sayersville news and other announcements, but right now, a quick update on tonight's McGoffin Farm Bureau calendar. Birthday wishes. It says, please wish a happy birthday to my beautiful wife, Michael. A happy 63rd birthday tonight. With a lot of love from Michael, from Hanson to Michael Rowley. Happiest of 63rd birthdays to you. Happy birthday, Michael Rowley. From there, we go on to a couple of quick announcements. Wonderful Wednesdays, as they're called, at the Sayersville First Baptist Church. This is going to be each Wednesday for the foreseeable future, 5:40 p.m. That's a Wednesday if school is in session. This is for preschool, 5 years of age, all the way through high school, where they're going to have children and youth activities. Wednesdays, wonderful Wednesdays at the Sayersville First Baptist Church. The church bus ministry will be providing transportation, 349-6276. Don't forget the Elk Creek Free Will Baptist Church has their annual open bass tournament this Saturday evening, starting at 6. Get there early, register, and get a chance to win $1,000 for first place and other big cash prizes at the Elk Creek Free Will Baptist Church Bass Open. Stay tuned. Your News Today will be right back.
At the Pierrist School, it's about more than grades. In a close-knit community, students are known, challenged, and encouraged to lead with character. With dedicated teachers, strong academics, and opportunities in arts, athletics, and service, students grow with confidence and purpose. With small class sizes, learning is personal, questions get answered, and students discover what they're capable of. Updates to facilities like the science classes and kitchens, students are taken care of both in and out of the classroom. The Pierrist School, where learning and caring go hand in hand.
It's here, summer's here, and so is the Parkway Pharmacy team to help you and your family navigate all the challenges that this season can bring. From over-the-counter essentials to helping you manage your medications as you travel, to helping you avoid or treat summer colds, swimmer's ear, heat exhaustion, and more. Have fun this summer and be safe and be well. And stop by Parkway Pharmacy in Sayersville to learn more about how they can help. Conley Tire, your most trusted source for tires, wheels, maintenance and repair, lift kits, and more. With inexpensive and reliable computer diagnostics, big discounts on big-name tires year-round, and everything you need to travel safe at Conley Tire in Staffordsville or conleytire.net.
There are buttons to button, snacks to prepare, math problems to help with, and boo-boos to kiss. If you have people who need you, you need life insurance. Talk to a Kentucky Farm Bureau agent about a policy that protects the ones you love. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance. Big on commitment.
Sometimes it's about form, sometimes it's about function, it's always about flavor, and sometimes it's about all three, like our savory, famous chicken pot pie and our new famous wraps, a hand-breaded chicken finger, cheese, lettuce, and a new signature sauce, or the Fiesta with Chipotle Ranch dusted with Texas Pete. Yes, that's what I said. At your Sayersville, Lee's Famous Recipe. Addiction Recovery Care has a new CEO. They, of course, saw their founder and CEO, Tim Robinson, resign from that post after, of course, all the investigations began to heat up, some of which are still, of course, ongoing. And now they say that the CEO of Frontier Behavioral Health, who, as I understand, will retain that position, has also been hired and named as the CEO of Addiction Recovery Care. Randy Hunter will serve in both of those capacities, the new one as well with ARC, continuing his role as CEO of Frontier Behavioral, while he will, of course, succeed Cassandra Webb, who until now has been the interim CEO following the resignation of their founder, again, a former CEO, Tim Robinson. For the third time by my count, Kentucky's Attorney General Russell Coleman and his office and team have declared that the city of Sayersville violated the Open Records Act. Brandy Lane of Sayersville, a candidate for Sayersville City Council, has on numerous occasions sought to seek public records through an open records request with the Sayersville Sayersville city offices, and this time, for at least the third time by our count, According to the Attorney General, on May the 11th and 12th, Lane had submitted 2 records requests for city records concerning the Sagersville City Council's April 2026 meeting on the 20th, and policies, procedures, and practices or rules governing the city issued 2 identical responses to the request, did the city, saying that essentially the records custodian was temporarily out of town and unavailable to access and review responsive records at that time. The city saying that records will be made available at a later date on or before June the 1st. The Attorney General says that, however, in such circumstances, the agency must establish a process to facilitate fulfillment of requests while the official records custodian is absent. And because the only stated reason for the record's unavailability was the absence of that particular custodian, the city did not adequately invoke KRS to delay its response to the appellant's request. Now, my apologies, and I know this has been a thing here as of late, but every time I think that we have the situation resolved, it's not, and I am still dealing with some very serious bugs in my software, and I do still believe that this is related to the most recent update through Apple, of which I haven't gotten any relief as of yet. I'm still working, and it's causing me to have to stop and pivot and back up and punt in the middle of production. And you're only noticing it if by the means of me being late and then being in a hurried fashion trying to get some of the headlines. So not going to local Doppler radar. It does show some showers and storms headed our way, of course, over the course of the evening. That 20% chance of shift showers is a pretty good chance, actually, for parts of the viewing area within the next few hours, but not a big deal. Tonight, 68 degrees, and then tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday and Monday and Tuesday and on and on and on. We're still in the same pattern as far as the forecast is concerned. We topped out at 93.5 today. Still 90 right now. And the dew point and humidity makes it feel like it's 101. Ditto for tomorrow. I think 90s, mostly sunny. 30% chance of showers and storms. For the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, 89 might as well be 90. I think we'll definitely hit 90 back again on your Sunday. We've got partly sunny Saturday, a 40% chance of showers and storms. Just mostly sunny and dry for your Sunday, and 91. And then we're still in the upper 80s and 90s throughout most all of next week. That's it. Enjoy your Thursday, and I hope you'll enjoy your Friday evening after you see me tomorrow night. Good night. Thanks for watching.